Hi guys! Today's video is on creating a brand that is true for you. I think those last few words, true for you, are so important when we're thinking about brand. Um, Beachbody is pretty big right now. Not just Beachbody, but multi-level marketing. And so, what is it about you that sets you apart? Why would someone choose you over me, over Lindsay, over Steph Davies, over Brandy Botts, etc.? Um, when I first became a coach, I had just finished my first year of graduate school, and this part of me was still feeling very insecure about signing as a coach. And I really kind of hid this part of me, a graduate student and a social worker. I hid it from the coaching community in a lot of ways, and I hid it from my social work community. Quite literally, would hide posts from certain people on social media because I almost felt like the two worlds couldn't collide. And I do think that was harmful to my business. Um, and I just wasn't showing my truest self. So, the homework assignment for today is to make a list of 5 to 7 things that are going to be your brand. And I wanted to share with you what mine were at the beginning and what mine are now. Some of it's the same, but some of it's not. And I just want to kind of share how I wasn't really being true to myself and why creating a brand that is you is so important. So my first list, I pulled out my first notebook, was motherhood, tattoos, feminism, yoga, outdoors, and urban living. The funniest thing to me about this list is yoga. Like, I had maybe done like 3 yoga videos in my life, but I really wanted to be this like yoga girl, but I'm just not. It's something that I am practicing, and not quite as often as I want to be, and certainly not enough to make it a part of my brand. So I think that that's pretty funny. I think I had just followed all these coaches who were so could do handstands and had all these beautiful, interesting photos and videos of them doing all this cool stuff, and I was like, well, I want to be like that. But that wasn't who I was. And so if you look at if you were to scroll through my Instagram to the beginning, you would see me trying to do some yoga poses. Um, but like very easy ones because I didn't really know what I was doing. But I was like trying to make that into my brand, and it just wasn't authentic. Today, my brand is a mom to an elementary age child. I think really being specific in your branding, because for me, I'm a single mom. I have a daughter that just turned 8. I had her when I was 18 years old. A lot of like the mom community and coaching, at least in Team Alive and Well, is a lot of people with pretty small children, and I don't relate to that. I can't relate to the mom that just had her baby as much as some other people. So I'm trying to really be narrow my brand down to a mom to an elementary aged child, and a mom to a girl. So outdoors is still a part of my brand. I live in Oregon. I go outside a lot, especially in the summer, hiking and all that. Um, Social justice. So that's something that wasn't on my brand before. I again kind of had felt this like conflict, this tension between being a social worker and doing MLM. I mean, it's pretty corporate, and corporate world isn't exactly meshing with my um, personal values, but I am kind of untangling and seeing the messiness of this world, and I want to show that. I want to show that I am an advocate and I'm a social worker, and I want social justice in the world, and that has to be a part of my brand because it's who I am. Feminism, it was on there before. Though it was on there before, really don't think that I was sharing that as much as I wanted to, and I'm slowly starting to share that more. Um, Urban living is still on there. I live in the middle of downtown. Holistic health is something that wasn't really on there before. I am not like a total fitness chick. Like, I've never been a fitness chick. Working out this regularly is like totally new to me. And so to have fitness in my brand, which I don't think I listed before, but it was on my original um, list. It's not who I am, but holistic health is, and thinking about the whole body, the mind, the soul, the spirit, um, spirituality, and as well as fitness. It all fits in. So holistic health is on there, and it's way more who I am than this like fitness person. Um, and then lastly is trauma-informed care, which is a huge piece of my identity as a social worker, recognizing that everyone has experienced trauma and really making sure that when I am working with people as a not just a social worker, but also as a coach, uh, that I'm recognizing that and I'm not pushing people into things that are uncomfortable for them. So that's kind of my brand now. And I'm still really working on bringing the social work piece of me out. But as I have been talking more about social justice and feminism and all these things in my posts, I am feeling so much more confident and comfortable um, as a coach. And I am attracting people who are like me. And that is when you're going to see your team grow, is when you attract people who are like you. And you're not going to attract people who are like you if you aren't being authentic and true to yourself. So for me, trying to be this yoga person or going and seeking out yoga chicks, like that, we're not really going to connect on that level because that's not who I am. If you're not a personal trainer or like super crazy into fitness, you're not going to seek out those personal trainers on Instagram and try to make them coaches. Maybe they'll find you and maybe they will find something in you that they can relate to, but we're not necessarily going to go seeking out people that aren't true to ourselves because it's going to be challenging to run a team with people who aren't like-minded, if that makes sense. So that is just a little bit about branding. And your brand, obviously, it's going to evolve over time. Like you're going to change. Maybe someday I will be really incredible at yoga and that will become um, a really huge part of who I am. And maybe that will come back into my brand. And, eventually my child will get older. So maybe that will change a little bit. I think that it's also really important when we're thinking about branding. We become a new coach, we follow lots of coaches and kind of get ideas, and that's great. Like, I might see something that Lindsay Tipton posts, and I'm like, oh, I love the way she worded that. How can I make that my own? Or I love the way that Amy Silverman talked about her What is Coaching event. How can I make that my own? Of course, we're going to do that, but I think that it's so important to not um, be someone that we're not. And I think that kind of minimizes our self-confidence in a lot of ways, right? Like we are following all these top coaches and comparing ourselves to them, and that's not what we want. We want to be authentic and true to ourselves. And again, I keep coming back to personal development, but that's really where that comes in. It's kind of owning who you are. And that's what's going to help you grow your business. So I hope this helps. Again, write down your brand. I'm so excited to see what all you come up with. So have a good day.